The process starts, as always, with Jed's original master, which comes to me via Photoshop. I print it out on a very thin paper and I glue it down as you see here. This has been the same in all of these videos. Peeling off the back sheet, leaving nothing but his master ready for carving. Our video this time really is mostly going to focus on printing, but I'll put a minute or so of carving in at the beginning so you can see where the block came from. Actually, this one was a lot of fun for me because curves, as like the ones you see here, they're really a lot of fun to carve. It flexes my wrist back and forth around each corner, as you see here. Trying to get around that corner without breaking the knife. It's not trivial. It's a lot of fun, a big challenge. It was traditional in the old days to finish off any block with carving the eyes of the character. I think the idea was that that would bring it to life. So I've followed the same pattern, of course. What you see here is not real printing. Now this is the early proofing of the key block. There's no black pigment on it yet. This is the first time that it's actually going to be seen. And in fact, I'm working at my carving bench, which slopes away from me, rather than the printing bench, which you'll see later, which slopes down and away from me. Here we are, the first time anybody has ever seen the result of this block. The next step then is to create the transfers for carving the color blocks. Following Jed's master there on the right hand side, I'm outlining a pink area for Kirby, a red area for the kimono. One by one the color blocks get delineated and then carved. Okay, here we are. This is now my printing bench. You can see it slopes down and away from me. And over the next few minutes, you're going to see some video clips taken while I did the initial proof printing of this design. This is the most common question I get asked on all these YouTube videos. How do you line the paper up from color to color? And there it is. Right hand didn't get in the corner, left side goes against a straight line. And the same marks are carved on every one of the blocks. It's actually a very, very simple and extremely effective system. There she is, step 1, the key block. 16 more to go. The colors are very simple powder pigments mixed mostly with water and sometimes a little bit of alcohol. A little dab of paste also goes on the block to help the colors spread out smoothly and cleanly. This block is going to be used twice. The whole thing is printed in a pale pink. This is the main pink character plus the claws of the below character. And then when that's done, we do again just the claws. It deepens them to an orange tone. Have a look. There we go. This is a background tone for the mountains in the background of the print, and as you'll see later, two more other color tones will be printed over top of this gray later. It gives quite a nice depth to different areas of the image. Have you noticed the different kinds of brushes I'm using? I know in small areas like this we have a vertical long handle brush, and yet when I need a wider area we've got another rounder type of brush that's actually more similar to a shoe brush. They came along in the Meiji era. I think the colors are building up quite nicely. You know, that red is just the base tone. There's more going on top of that soon. This is an interesting one. I know this is the same block that's going to be used later to print the dark sky and the stars. We're first printing it with a sort of a peach tone, right from the bottom all the way up to the top. Although when the print is done, the only place the peach will still be visible is in the very lowest area of the print. All the rest is an undertone for the dark sky that will follow. I mentioned overtones on the mountain slopes, and here's the first of those. It's a pale, pale blue being printed on top of the gray. For the purpose of doing this proofing, I sometimes mix colors like this just on a tile. And once everything's decided, we mix the proper colors we want in the bowl so that the color will stay consistent over the whole edition. This one needs a bit of explanation. It's a blue pigment there, and the main brush over the whole block will spread out the blue with a bit of black mixed in. Then this brush has just black pigment on it. So two areas, the face, both the faces, the pink creature and the other monster, are going to get black lines instead of blue. This is of course one of the highlight impressions of this print, the dark creature behind our pink hero. And, in order to get the proper density of good black blue here, I actually print it twice, although here in this video we're just seeing the process once. This one's fun. It's really, really fun. And here we are with the impression that's really going to make this print pop. It's the background sky and stars, of course. And look at this, a ton of paste, ton of pigment, water, all spread out with this good thick brush. And yet none of that stuff will clog up those star holes. I'm going to print this actually twice, and the stars will still be bright, clean, and shiny white. There we are. I've cut ahead to the second impression of this same block, and here we are. The Soul Eater first proof is now finished. I'm very, very happy with how this has turned out. This is still a proof. We'll need a bit more density in some of these colors, but I think this is probably pretty close. And here we go. We have this same scene in all of our Ukiyoe Heroes videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now 5. And many, many, many more to come over the next few years, I'm sure. It's kind of a disaster here this evening. There's brushes, tools, pigments, everything is just as I've left it after the day's proofing. And the workshop's normally very, very clean, but proofing day is simply mix this, try this, mix this, try this. And there's no time to run and clean up after every step. Once the day's work is done, I think we've had actually a pretty good day's work here with this thing. Once the day's work is done, it's time to clean up and then get ready for a regular printing session the next day. Anyway, if you've come this far, thanks for watching this latest video. That's 5 of our original 7 Kickstarter backed prints now done. There are more on the way, of course, 3 more Kickstarter prints, as well as others that Jed has created since then. As you may have noticed during this video, I had my scanner next to me and I took a bunch of scans, each showing each stage of the printing process. I've used those images to create a slideshow of this print's production, and I'll be uploading it tonight, and you can find the link to it in the description to this video on its YouTube page. I'm not quite sure when the next video will be ready. Jed has been cooking up a kind of a secret project over the past couple of months, and he'll need a bit of video support from this end. It should be public, I think, in 2 or 3 weeks from now. Please drop back then and have a look at it. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Anyway, this is woodblock printmaker David Bohl signing off from the Seseragi Studio after a very, very long productive day's work. See you next time. Thank you.